8 to 8:30 p.m. tuklasin ang kagandahan ng Mimaropa at ang buhay ng mga kapatid nating matatag sa pananampalataya. Kasamang inyong paboritong team sa INCRadio Mimaropa Adventures.
Ito ang INC Radio, DZEM 954, ang tinig ng katotohanan, himpilan ng Iglesia ni Cristo, sumasahimpapawid mula sa Quezon City.
Let's open our devices and listen now. Let's have some fun, and this is how. As we have our INC radio podcast playing, we will have so much fun listening. INC Radio Podcast, we're here to hear.
Hello, podcast family, and welcome to the 11th episode of our season, The Balance Blueprint, and you're tuning into INC Radio Podcast, the podcast that resonates with you. I'm your host, LJ.
At kasama niyo po Kuya Jake in Australia. What's up, Ate LJ?
Hey.
Hello, Ate LJ. How are you? How are you doing? Good evening.
I'm good. You know what? The weather is amazing here where I live.
Really?
So a little rainy.
Hindi ba
but
hindi mo
other than
bumabagyo
that-
last time?
Yes, last time I was tuning into Masayang Tahanan a few days ago. It was raining lots. I mean, it has been, but you know what? We need all the rain we can get around the
Yeah.
season due to our province is super dry. But ikaw,
Really?
how is the Philippines
You know,
there?
the Philippines has been soaking wet, like legit. Talaga, we're soaked, we're baha talaga. Kasi, you know, the tatlong bagyo, three typhoons, if I'm not mistaken, and the northeast monsoon pa biglang sabay-sabay na talagang dumaan sa Pilipinas. So it was really hard. Pero, you know, our hearts is still on fire at the LJ, of course. We never want to extinguish the energy, you know, the heat when it comes to performing our duties, especially now that we are celebrating a very, very, very special occasion, right? Diba?
Yes.
How's the brethren there in Manitoba?
It's good. We are also preparing to celebrate our, the church's anniversary over here. We have some exciting activities that we're going to do on the 27th of July.
Wow.
Ayan.
Sounds so great. So, don't do that. You know, I wish that Chloe was here. She would have said something.
Oh, indeed.
Oh,
For
yeah,
sure,
she would. Pero what are we gonna talk about today? Especially now, no? Na parang, we're very, I don't know how to describe this feeling of the season. How would you describe it? I wouldn't say festive. Hindi naman siguro. Basta special siya. Special yung pakiramdam.
Very
diba?
special.
Very special.
Tama.
So ano ba pag-uusapan natin today habang inaayos tong layout ng camera natin?
Ay, sige. While you guys are like on the layout of the episode for today. Ayan nga. So it's part of our season Balance Blueprint. And today's episode is entitled Still Counting, Always Blessed.
I love
This
it.
weekend, we join many of our brethren around the world to celebrate the 111th anniversary of the Iglesia ni Cristo, or Church of Christ. And it's more than just a milestone, yeah. It's a moment to pause, reflect, and give our thanks. Ayan. Diba?
That's right. Wait, I can't open her. Go ahead.
Yes. And we are always grateful and extend our gratitude for the life we've been given and the guidance we receive, or the strength to keep our faith. And this episode is all about that heart of appreciation, yeah. And we're diving into the stories of moments and reminders that help us stay thankful, and not just as individuals, but as members of the church that has stood strong for 111 years. So let's talk about why gratitude matters even when life gets tough, and how our faith keep us grounded in thankfulness. Ayan. But ayan nga, we have a lot of things to talk about for today's episode.
That's true.
But of course, you know, we always want our podcast family to join in on our conversation.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna segue to our episode question for today. And of course, for our live viewers, you're always feel free to always, leave your answers in our live chat. And for those who will be viewing our lovely episode after it has aired, please feel free to share with us your response to your question at podcast@incradio.net. And of course, our podcast question of the day nga is,
Ano ba?
what is one, huh?
Ano nga yung podcast episode
Ayan,
question?
ayan. Ito na, ito na. Excited,
Sorry,
excited.
sorry.
What is one small overlooked thing in your life you think we should be more grateful for? Ayun. So that is our podcast question
Yan.
of the day nga.
So to all our
But
podcast listeners, no, please do put that in our live chat. We do have people in our live chat. Hello po kay Ka Ancherto Antonio. Good morning, brother PJ and Thara from Orange County. We hope you're having a great time. But what time is it now in California? Is it nighttime at the LJ?
it's nighttime na,
It's
I believe.
nighttime.
I think they're 3 hours
Uh,
from us. So it's 10 p.m. here. Bilangin mo na lang kung anong
ah. Hindi tayo magbilang ngayong oras.
ikaw na magbilang. Ayan, ayan. Para para I think it's 7. 7 na
Oh,
yata.
is it?
Basta
All
mga
right.
ganun.
Okay. So
Yes.
there we go. So we should continue now. Let's start this discussion. We only have, I don't know, less than 20 minutes left. Pero,
Exactly, tama. But you know what? We have some before we head off to our main discussion. We'd like
mhm.
to give our special thanks, of course, to Ka Angela Aranda B.
Yeah, of
Manalo,
course.
our Deputy Executive Minister, and most of all, we would like to thank our dearest Executive Minister, Ka Eduardo B. Manalo. We love you
I
all
love you
po.
po. Happy anniversary po.
Ayun.
Now, Ate LJ, I want to
Yes.
ask you if you are to describe, how your year went or any thankful moments in your year, what would it be?
Ayun. I would say, ano ba? Madami akong thankful moments this year.
Maybe. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Kasi nga, even though it's just July pa lang of
Mhm.
2025, I've had a lot of things that I have been thankful for. I think I would say, the fact that our family got a
Mhm.
lot of blessings this year
Yeah.
is one of my thankful moments. I think, especially, I know I've shared this before in our past episode, the last couple months, but we got a house. That's
Yes,
something
right.
that's a yeah. I think
You have a new
in every
background.
exactly, that's my new background. It's no longer my blue window.
Right?
Alam mo na yun. Yeah, if
Uh-huh.
you look back at our episode, it's different now. It's different. We're upgrading. We're upgrading.
Right, right, right.
Yun nga. So I think, in any milestone in anybody's life, I think getting a house, because that's such a big
It
purchase,
is,
right?
yeah.
It's a big thing or a big leap in just life in general. So I think that's one of my thankful moments. We had a lot of prayers.
Mhm.
We've been praying for a very long time for our family to get a house, years if anything. But definitely anything that you want is in God's timing talaga.
Totoo
Ayan.
yan. Totoo yan, Ate LJ.
Yes.
I'm so proud of your So proud.
So, so
Ako ba nagpakain sa pamilya niya? Pero I'm so happy. I'm so happy with your family because, yeah, we've been talking a lot these past few years, and it hasn't really been easy, diba? And finding a home in a country
Mhm.
where you are, you're a foreigner, diba? It's a big
Exactly. And
milestone
tsaka,
talaga.
with COVID and all that stuff, right? Everything up to COVID, right?
Mhm.
Life has stopped and all that stuff. So there's definitely a lot of struggles from then till now, right? But other than that, God always gives you that blessing and always gives you something to be thankful for. Ikaw,
Exactly.
anong thankful moment mo for this year?
You
Ikaw,
know,
madami kang
madami din, to be honest. Kasi,
struggles.
ang daming struggles. You have been, you've seen most of majority of my struggles of how we cry late at night, di ba? How, we get anxious
Exactly.
of all of the problems and, trials na dumarating sa atin just this year alone. Pero, the fact that we're still here, the fact that we're able to continue it is a pure testament na talaga hindi tayo iniwan ng ating Panginoong Diyos, 'di ba, Ate LJ? And siguro yung mga favorite moments ko this year is that whenever I have problems or kapag dumaraan sa mabibigat na suliranin, I never felt na parang iniwan ako ng ating Panginoon Diyos. Ang daming
Mm-hmm.
reason na hindi ako na dapat mawalan ng pag-asa because there are help right in front of me. Yung mga
Yeah.
tao, di ba? Ikaw, di ba? You were there at the LJ and our other ates and situations, it always aligns that kumbaga nagiging tama lahat. Parang pinaplansya yung gusot. And I'm
Exactly.
always
Tama,
grateful
tama.
for that. Ate Ash. Especially, di ba, ngayon living alone. I can never, get to the end of it.
Imagine.
Imagine I would, reach a year here in the Philippines, almost 2 years
Yeah.
of
Tama.
living alone and trying everything on my own. And I'm just so grateful for that, especially this year. Because there are a lot of crying moments.
Tama. I
Uh,
can attest to all of, Jacob's struggle. Ha! Struggle.
Struggles. Literal pinakain. Literal,
You know
you
what?
picked me up. Yeah.
I think one of the most thankful things I am for this year is just the friendship that I've
Yes,
created.
exactly.
Not only
Yeah.
with you, but like our podcast family, right? At
Mm.
the Angelica, at the Chloe, and at the Ina,
At the
right?
Ina,
All of
yeah.
us, even though individually we're busy, we play roles in each and every our
We
locale
do,
in
we
our
do.
district. Ikaw, nandiyan ka sa main studio, right? Performing your duties. But you know what? At the end of the day, I love that knowing that I have friends that I can always go to and that will understand, what I'm going to,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what it is, no matter how silly or anything. And I'm just so so thankful that that I have this friendship that I've built with you and our the rest of our podcast family. And you know what? Tapering to our next question is what unexpected blessing did you receive this year? I have one.
Okay, go ahead
Um,
first. Okay.
this you know what? This question speaks to me because I would have never thought this year um was the year I was gonna be able to travel internationally. And you know
Really?
what? Any international trip I think is a
Mm.
big deal,
Yeah.
right? Kasi syempre that's a lot of time and expenses that you have to Google or ano ba yung word? Ano ba yung English nun? Tagalog yung ano eh. Englishera ako pero
Englishera halata, pero Tagalog yung alam na salita, oh.
kaya nga.
Ano ba?
Ano ba yung
Ano ba
word
Google?
dun?
Ano ba English ng Google?
Uh,
Expense.
basta yun. I-search na. It's a lot of things accumulatively na talagang i-prepare.
Mm.
And I'm thankful that this year I will be able to meet Sister Chloe.
Yay!
I never thought. And I
Almost.
know there was plans of me going home to the Philippines to meet you, pero maybe hindi pa
Not
time.
now, not now. Yeah, not now. Hindi pa time, hindi pa
The
time.
world is not ready for
For our meet up. It's
like,
gonna explode.
ayun. So, but yun yung number one unexpected blessing ko is, to be able to travel and, to be able to go to Kadiwa Meet and Greet
Yun, that's
International.
actually a great
So,
thing.
if there's any Kadiwas that are going in Japan and you see me, say hi to me and Sister Chloe and Sister Angelica. We will be there in Japan to attend the International Kadiwa Meet and Greet.
Yes, that's a
Ayun.
goal. Such a goal, no? Friendship goals. And I'll be here in
Exactly.
the Philippines waving.
It's okay. It's fine. You
That's
know
all right.
what?
We're gonna see each other
Fine.
at another time. Yeah, at another time.
Exactly.
Yeah, another moment.
Ikaw,
Another
an
season.
unexpected blessing
Unexpected,
here.
unexpected blessing. You know, I could never end with siguro sa school ate
Mm.
LJ. Think about it. I never thought na I would have an organization sa school kasi ang sinasabi ko na sa sarili ko, I would focus on mostly on my church duties and sa school man is purely on academics. But I joined the school publication and I fell in love with it. The people,
Mm-hmm.
the things, the work that we do, the relationship that we built, and I've met, going back to the people, I've met people whom, I really felt na pwede palang may mga tao pala na nandito at least sa Pilipinas na sobra kong magiging ka-close kasi 'di ba for the
Yeah.
longest moment of my life most of my close friends are you guys, 'di ba? Yung mga ate, kuya, mostly I met
Foreigners.
on duties, mga foreigners is literally abroad, 'di ba? Or even yung mga kasama natin dito sa studio, sila yung mga naging close ko
Mm-hmm.
for even the majority of my stay here in the Philippines. But never have I thought na magkakaroon ako ng mga tao
You
na
have someone to click
makaka-close. Yeah, to
talaga,
click
diba?
talaga sa school. And I love every single one of them because they make me experience different things na
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried before. Para kaya nga feeling ko whenever I go to school, I feel like I'm still in high school. Ganun lagi yung
Mm-hmm.
pakiramdam, not
And that's, you know
college.
what, that's nice because you'll be able to enjoy talaga yung university mo and your
Yeah,
college life, right? Kasi
exactly.
those things, we only go through those things once in our
Yeah,
life,
and it's so
you
quick,
know.
no? Super fast.
Exactly, it is quick. Ikaw nga, diba, you've been living in the Philippines for like what, a year and a half now?
Yeah,
Almost
I
almost
don't
two
even.
years na ba?
No,
Yeah.
nandi
And
ba?
you know
Almost two
what?
years. Yeah, almost 2 years.
Yeah, and you're thriving, and that's
Thank
I
God.
think that's a
That's something to really be grateful for.
I think that's a unexpected
It is
blessing in
an
itself.
unexpected blessing because I was this close of like calling my mom and like send me back home.
But it's
Kasi
okay.
hihirang
You know what?
hira.
And we're proud of you.
Aw, thank
As your
you.
atas and stuff like that, right? And I guess you're one of the people I'm thankful for. Because the question that we had
Yeah.
is, there a person you're thankful for this year and why? Ayun nga. I think I'm thankful for yun nga, for my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, my family. Syempre. I can't pinpoint to one person. Because there's a lot of people that I
You
am
should be
thankful
thankful
for,
for,
that play
yeah.
a great role in my life
Definitely.
and in
Mm-hmm.
my growth in general. Not just my faith, but in my career, right? There's a lot of people that I'm really really thankful for this year, and I think a lot of the blessings that I got in this year. Syempre, through God's help, but also, God has helped us to have instruments in our life, for us to, keep us grounded and be thankful for,
Mm-hmm.
all throughout the year. And not just all throughout the year, but in our life in general. Diba?
Yes.
Ikaw, do you have one person ba? Or do you have persons that you're thankful for?
You know, and then hindi sa ano, hindi binobola ko si Ate LJ kasi kausap ko siya. Pero Ate LJ, like what I said earlier, you've witnessed so much of the struggles that I never speak to anyone.
Mm.
And that is so true. And ikaw lang yung nakakaalam ng marami nun. So, hulaan na lang nila ko.
Basta madami. Huwag
Basta
niyo na po
madami.
alamin.
And you were there with me. And honestly, if wala ka siguro Ate LJ, I didn't know. I don't know. I couldn't imagine, of how I would, paano ko yung malalagpasan na hindi ka nakasama
Mm.
Ate LJ. You were such a big help. And
Oh.
I treat you as a blessing from God kasi lagi kong pinapanalangin yun sa ating Panginoong Diyos na bigyan ako ng mga tao, ng mga makakasama na talagang mararamdaman ko na they really care for me and they would help me, 'di ba? And kahit 'di ba I couldn't ikaw yung literal na hindi ko masuklian yung talagang tulong na Hindi ko
Basta
masuklian
yun
kasi,
na yun.
like how do I send you back stuff without me,
Mm.
yeah, you're a big help.
Basta,
You're a
we're
big
thankful.
blessing. Basta we're thankful. That's it.
What I imagine din sometimes, sabi ko, paano kaya kung I didn't meet any of you, right? So
Mm.
I like podcast would have had happened, or like, there wouldn't have been no way for me to
Yes,
be
wala
able to get to know
talaga.
you. And I still remember the first time I met you, yung sa Faith and
Sa
Melody
Faith
ba
and
yun?
Melody, yeah, they celebrated their
Yeah, Faith and
anniversary.
Melody. You know what?
Happy
I was
anniversary.
such a fan of you
Wow.
from when I was starting INC Radio Canada, and I used to watch you all the time during the morning because my shifts were always late sa work. So I
Aha.
was able to tune in sa radio talaga ng Wow with
Um,
Bob. But favorite kitang host, and I was like, oh, I wish I knew this person. And
and
turns
then
out,
God,
oh,
yeah,
di
God gave
ba?
us
And
each
I hopped
other.
on, and I purposely, nung nakita ko na I had an opportunity to hop on sa Faith and Melody, na I think you were guesting at that time.
Yes, I
So
was.
I was like, oh, this is my opportunity
We were
to
regular
be able
guests of Faith
to
and
be
Melody because,
friends.
like, why not? Diba?
Yes, yan.
Yeah, and that started everything. It was really great. Tapos nagulat na lang tayo, no? We were on the same call. Like, "Yeah, okay, you'll be part of the INC Radio podcast," says Kuya Kyle.
Yun nga. And of
Yeah.
course, diba, with syempre si Kakail also is one of the ministers that, helped build INT Radio podcast. So we're thankful for you,
Yeah, we're really thankful for
Kakail.
Kaka. We miss Kaka. And diba, isa sa mga unexpected blessings mo, I think, it was it this year or last year?
Yes!
Is that
One
when
of my
Kaka moved
unexpected
to your
blessings talaga is
district?
to meet Kakail. Solano. And you know what? I never thought, that out of all the ministers that I've worked with sa radio, I would have never thought the one, that was overseeing us for podcast at the
Podcast.
time,
And such a
right?
close friend
Last
to
year
us, diba?
was gonna be Kyle. And
Yeah.
you know what? I was so thankful to be able to get to know him through not just podcast us leading us, right? But being able to meet him here in my home district. At first he was just in Canada, and then he ended up in
In
my home
Manitoba.
district here in Manitoba. So we're thankful to have Kyle. So he's our Christian family organization dito sa District
District
of
of Manitoba. That's right. And
Manitoba,
his
sa heart of
family as well.
Canada.
Ano? His beautiful wife, si Ate Joy. Hello, Ate
Yes, Ate
Joy.
Joy and
And
their
their beautiful
beautiful baby
baby.
girl, si Amira.
Mm-hmm.
Ayan.
Pero,
Ayan. But,
aha.
ayan, ang layo na ng conversation.
Yun na,
Second part.
ito hirap eh. Ito hirap na 30 minutes lang. Tapos, dalawa nga lang tayo dito. Paano kung kumpleto tayo? Di ba?
Kaya, paano pa kaya?
Ano ba kaya? Well,
Ayan.
speaking of gratitude, kasi nga we're celebrating this season, diba? Our Thanksgiving season and the anniversary of the church. What does gratitude play? How does it play in our life at the LJ? Especially in moments where life can be so messy. How do
Yeah.
you still count?
Tama.
Diba? Mm-hmm.
I think for me, gratitude really plays a big role in my life
Mm-hmm.
because it helps me be grounded, right? It's a
Yeah.
great reminder that, no matter what we go through in life, sometimes, like what you said, life gets messy, sometimes it gets hard, right? It gets tough. We go through so many things in our life, but I think gratitude is one of the things that, helps us to stay humble and to, kind of drag us back to, ano ba yun? Drag us back to earth. Ano ba?
Mm.
But sometimes you get so uh get caught up in life, right?
Mm.
Sometimes we get busy and we forget about the things that that we should be grateful for, and minsan we just find things to kind of complain about, right? But gratitude always helps us kind of drag us back to, hey, there's always something to be grateful for, even when your life is getting hard. There are things that some people might have it harder, is what I
Really?
always
That's
say. When
true.
I'm having a bad day, that's what I always tell myself. I was like, you know what? I just had a rough morning. It was just a one-off
I
morning
like
in my
that.
life,
Oh.
right? There,
Hindi
like
siya buong
somebody
araw.
could be going through way worse than
Mhm.
I am at the moment, and I'm complaining about this little minor inconvenience in my life, and that's how I kind of drag myself back to being humble. It's like, hey, you have way more things to complain about, and not just this tiny inconvenience in your life.
I like it. We have different socio-economic problems. That's something to
Yeah.
to complain about. Yeah, pero ang dami. And I resonate with what you said, ate. Resonate. I like
Resonate.
resonate. Resonate live on 90PC. Anyway, yung ano, yung gratefulness, ate LJ, no, sobrang totoo siya, and ang laking portion ng buhay natin yung nire-require
Mhm.
yung gratefulness, especially if you wanna find peace, if you wanna have, calmness in our lives. Kasi isa sa mga personal motto ko in life kasi is to just remain calm, be
Mhm.
gentle in everything that you do, kasi sa ganong paraan we became kinder, we became much more, you know basically a breath of fresh air. I like saying
Mm.
yan, di
Tama,
ba?
tama. I like that. I like
Yeah, a
that.
breath of fresh air kasi with calmness, and yun nga, yung pagiging peaceful, nakukuha nga kasi yun sa pagiging grateful. 'Di ba, ate, no? Na ang daming problema sa buhay, ang daming tao na talagang pipitikin talaga yung inis mo, na
Mhm.
susunduin yung pikon. Pero with gratefulness, with living and seeing what we have now, and appreciating and being thankful of what's in front of us, it makes us feel na yung mga bagay na inaalala natin, kumbaga, tapik na lang yun sa lahat
Mhm.
ng pinagdaanan natin, at tinulungan tayo ng ating Panginoong Diyos, 'di ba? Kaya bakit tayo hindi magiging kind sa ginagawa natin? Bakit tayo pangungunahan ng galit, 'di ba, sa iba't ibang
Mhm.
sitwasyon ng buhay natin, when there are a lot of blessings that we should be thankful for, and should, keep us, seated, parang
Exactly.
ganun. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it also plays yung being humble nga, 'di ba?
Mhm.
And every time, you get a chance to have gratitude in your life. And that kind of goes to our next question is, whenever times are hard, is it still possible to be thankful? And I would say yes, it's
Yeah.
it's still possible to be thankful, to have gratitude when you have trials in your life, right? Again, like what I said earlier, if there's just those literally the tiniest minor inconvenience in your life and you're complaining about it, you might want to kind of
Reflect.
think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need to reflect a little bit because, again, right? There's so many things happening in the world, but you're here where you are in your life. You're peaceful. You have the life that you have strength, you have friends and family that care for
Mm-hmm.
you. I think that's enough. I think that's more than enough to be thankful for, right? Even just waking up in the morning, or even going out to be able to have coffee or to have um, um, enough in your everyday life. I think that's more than enough to have gratitude and to be thankful for, no matter how hard life gets. And we're pretty much going off to our last question of the day for our episode nga is, what are some examples of thankfulness do you see in the older generation of the brethren inside the church? So, like our parents, the officers, ikaw, Kuya Jaycon, what are some things you take away when you, like, even just say your parents, right? What are some things you take away with how they practice thankfulness in your family or just in your life?
Our family kasi
Mm.
very, ano lang, simple lang, ate LJ. And nakikita ko sila na, sa pagpatuloy lang sa pagtupad, and making sure that every brethren is checked, di ba? The welfare of everyone is
Mm.
checked, not just our family. It makes me, and nakikita ko sa kanila na ganun sila ka-humble, and ganun nila nakikita yung tungkulin nila na they do not aspire for anything rather than what they have now. Of course, we have dreams,
Mm-hmm.
we have different
Of course,
goals,
yeah.
pero hindi sila eager to change, and na G na G sa pag step into a better, a brighter life, sabihin,
Mm-hmm.
kasi they believe na talaga what we have now, this is what is given to us, we'll work with it, we'll be happy with
Mm-hmm.
this.
And if
And
there's more
yeah,
that
if
God
there's more,
gives, yeah,
then thank you.
that's, diba? That's when
Yeah.
you're thankful
Yeah.
and you have gratitude. That
Yes.
way.
Kaya maraming salamat talaga. I appreciate so much my parents for for teaching us that type of mindset. Ano. Kaya
Mm-hmm.
maraming salamat
Exactly.
for them. How about you?
Yeah. And I agree. Same goes for me as well. My parents, right? They have they we a lot all of our family members all are officers inside the church. So I'm thankful to have parents that have guided us throughout our from our children's worship service. From when we were kids to be able to uphold a duty and to be able to really aspire to get a duty is what I'm thankful for because there's such great examples that I have in my life
Mm-hmm.
that I the way I perform my duty is definitely I get from my parents, and I'm more than thankful for that. Yeah, and but anyways, we are heading off to close our
Ayan.
show for
Sana nakikita
today.
ka
Ang
muna.
bilis ng time.
Yeah.
But we have our quick Christian value takeaway, and I'll start us off, Kuya Jacob, which is
Mm.
gratitude isn't just a once a year celebration. Yeah, we choose to notice the good, the growth, and even the quiet moments that sustain us. This serves as a reminder for us to be thankful at all times. And thankfulness doesn't mean every day is perfect, like what we said earlier. It means we choose to remember what is good, even when life gets hard or tough. Whether it's as simple as waking up in the morning or having life and strength or even getting to eat your favorite food, there is always something to be thankful for. Yeah.
Yan. Kaya maraming salamat. Ate LJ, um, do you have anyone to greet before we go?
I would just say I just like to greet, of course, our home district here in the District of Manitoba, and syempre to all of our brethren all over the
Yes.
world. Right, we are celebrating our 111th anniversary, and of course, our hearts nga are always full
Full, that's right.
for being able to be blessed by our Almighty God for another year of the church. Ayan.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ate Angel, for joining us. And of course, our podcast family for tuning in. And as always, we would love to hear from all of you. So please watch out or reach us out for any comments, suggestions via email at podcast@incradio.net. Thank you so much, Ate LJ! At maraming salamat po sa inyong
Yes.
lahat. Happy 111th anniversary here in INC Radio Podcast. We're
We're here
here
to
to hear.
hear.
Bye,
Happy
everyone.
anniversary
Happy
po mga kapatid.
anniversary.
Enjoy your celebrations over there in the
Yes
Philippines.
po.
It's still July 25th
It,
here, but you know what?
yes.
We're excited for
Whatever.
our
We're
celebration. Happy
celebrating.
111th
Yes.
anniversary.
Happy anniversary, everyone.
As we have our INC radio podcast playing, we will have so much fun listening. INC radio podcast, we're here to hear. Let's open our devices and listen now. Let's have some fun, and this is how. As we have our INC radio podcast playing, we will have so much fun listening. INC radio podcast, we're here to hear.
Your Spotify playlist just got more exciting and inspiring because the INC Original Music is now on Spotify. Search up INC Original Music and discover songs about our faith and love, songs for our family and friends, songs full of